Hello, so today I'm going to show you how to splice an eye into 3-stranded rope. It's really easy to do. There's plenty of videos out there, you've probably seen them on YouTube, but I'm going to show you a few tricks that I've learnt over the years in order to make the process a little bit easier, especially for people who've never spliced before, because actually to do it for the first time is a bit daunting. So why would you want to splice in the first place? Well, it's to actually connect your rope onto something, and normally it's for you could tie a knot in the end, but normally it's for something that's going to be a permanent fixture. So you can see here on my baskets, for the handle I've got a couple of EYE splices here, and the reason I've used the EYE splices is because they don't get in the way, there's no knot that digs into your side, so it's neater as well. It's going to stay on here, it's going to be a permanent thing, so it's the best option really. So let me show you how I do it. Okay, so here's everything you need to in order to splice. You've got the two fids here. I'm just showing you because you might, if you're using smaller rope like this one. See, I did on one of my miniature baskets, I used the little fid for that. So these are called Swedish fids. They're just used in order to separate the strands of rope, and it's the easiest way to do it. So you can do it without, but I'd recommend that you get them from most boat chandleries. So for this larger rope, I'm going to use the large fid, so I don't need the little one. And then the electrical tape is for two reasons really. What I do is I secure it here so that what I'm going to do is this is the end that I'm going to separate and splice into the eye. And if you tape it up, it's very important to do that before you separate the strands, because otherwise it all unravels and then it's a right mess. So work out how much you want to use as the you might want to use more to start with if you're not used to splicing, just so you've got a bit more material to play with. But and this is probably a bit more than I would normally use for my baskets. And so that's what I use the electrical tape for. You can see here what I've done actually. I'll show you in a second. This is actually going to be the other side of the eye. I mark it out like this just so it's consistent, because I'm using this for almost like decorative for the basket. I want to make sure that both the eyes are the same size, so that's why I tape them out so I know it's going to be consistent. So the other bits of electrical tape are really for just as a guide. I don't really tend to use this now because I've been splicing for a long time, but to start with, it's a really good way of showing you. So first thing to do is you can see here that this is the end which you'd get from the chandlery when you ask for rope. This is where they've cut the rope with like a hot knife, and it's actually got melted plastic on the end. This is obviously a synthetic rope. If it was natural fibres, it might be you'd have to use whipping really. But so this is really for anything. This is that's got synthetic fibres in it, because it's nice and easy. You can melt the ends. So let me just show you. I'm going to separate the strands, and then I'll show you what I do with the electrical tape. Right, to separate the strands, you just need to get yourself a sharp knife. Make sure it is sharp, and then you just between the strands, just run the knife down. Be careful not to break some of the loose strands away, otherwise it gets a bit frayed. So let's just see if I've done. Yeah, and then you can just pull it apart. There's a bit there. Let's just and if it does get a bit frayed, you can always see there's just another bit there. So you've got a little bit frayed there. You could melt those bits if they were a problem. So then you just unravel, and you can see now why we've got the tape there, because it stops it from unraveling it any further. So now all we do is we'll tape up each strand with a different colour, and just makes it easier so you know which bit you've done. And that's one of the tricks I use. I know it's a simple trick, but it's an effective one. So let me just tape those bits up. Okay, so there you have it. I've obviously done one black, one red, one blue. So and you can see that the red one here is sitting proud on top of the other two. So this is the one I'm going to start with, always make sure they look like this. So you've got the black one and the blue one underneath the red one, and then that's the one you want to start with, the middle one, and then we'll go from there. So let me just show you how I do it. So as you can see, this is the basket that I want to splice the rope onto. Now you can see where I've got the 2 bits of red, and basically what I've done here, I measured up before just to make sure. And what you want to do is, you can see by putting those 2 red bits together like so, that's the eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure the splice above those 2 bits there. It's just good to have a marker. So I'm going to use this one here in order to splice and separate there. So what I'm going to do is I'll take the fid and I'm going to put it through. See, what you could do without the fid, you can actually just untwist the rope, and you can make a gap in between. But actually it can be quite tricky actually, especially with this type of rope. So what you do is you get the fid and you push it through all the way through like so, and then that gives you enough gap underneath in order to thread the strand through. So you can see this is starting off with the red one. So the red one's on top, and all you do is you push this underneath, feed it through the rope like so, and then pull it and remove the fid. Once it's through, you can remove the fid, and then what you do is you pull it all the way through until it's nice and tight. So, and that's all the way through like so. Okay, so the next one you want to do is the black one that was on the left hand side, the one that was sitting on the left hand side underneath. And what you want to do is you want to use go under the next one. So you can see that the red one here went under this one, so the black one is going to go under the next one. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to get the fid again, nice and easy, and just thread that through. So this first bit is the most difficult. So push that through. Each time just make sure, especially to start with, that you're pulling it tight. So pulling it tight, just as tight as you can. Okay, so you've got 2 bits through, the red one and the black one, so you've got the blue one left. Now the blue one is slightly different, and it's not very difficult to do, but you want to do it on the other side obviously, but it sort of goes back on itself. So if you can see here, this is the red one went under this one here, so you want the blue one to go under this one here. So the red one's under this one, blue one's under this one, and what you do is you actually go back on yourself. So you're not get my hands in there, because otherwise I'm going to pierce some of the strands. That's the one thing you've got to watch, is that you don't actually thread the fid through some of the existing strands. So with the blue one, you want to go back up this way and post it sort of almost like a right angle back through. So that's the only time you have to do that for the first one, but once you've got this bit sorted, it's fine. So there we go, pull the fid out, and there we go, and pull it all tight. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Now once you've got that first bit done, it's easy peasy, because what you need to do there from this point on, and of course now after you've colour coded it, you remember, so that you do the red, black and the blue, and you just keep on doing it in that order. So yeah, I'll show you. So the next one, you just go over it's up and over each one, just threading through. So the red one went under this one, so it's going to go over the next one and under that one. Now there's a few, what I find, there's a few bits that are more tricky than others, so I'll show you how this works. So let me just do this first. These bits are nice and easy, so just thread that through. Okay, and then you can just turn it round It's not as we've coloured them, it's nice and easy. So let me just see if you can see this properly. Right, so the red one has gone under this one, so the black one needs to go under the next needs to go under the next one. Now, in order to make this easy, because what you're going to need to do, this is what I find with this particular strand, sometimes it can become tricky, because if you're getting it in there, you're gonna potentially pierce the red rope, the red stranded rope. So what I tend to do, that makes it easier, is go further up, and if you push it through there, right, and then just bend it over the red, and that just means that you've got less chance of actually piercing that rope. So then you use the black one underneath and pull that tight, and then we go back round for the blue. Let me just zoom out. Oh, I can't. Okay, again, you've just got to be careful that you don't pierce the other rope. And when it's the same colour, it can be quite tricky. I've even got a sufficient light, so you want to make sure that you're not piercing this bit, you're not piercing this bit. So you can see this is the red one, this is the black one. So what we're going to do with the blue one is go over here and under here. You've got to make sure that you don't mistake this for the strand that you want to go under. So again, I just go a bit further up and then bend the fid around like so. Okay, and feed that through, and that's all you do. You carry on going. Now for synthetic rope, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to do at least 4 tucks. So each strand goes underneath 4 times. Now for the baskets, I tend to just use 3, if I'm being honest, because the thing is, when you're using these baskets, don't really get a lot of weight in them, so that they don't really need to take a lot of strain. But if you're using this to do like a mooring rope or something like that, then you'll no doubt want to do a few more tucks. I mean, you could do 5, it's not a problem. I just use 3 because it looks a little bit better. So there's the red again. So you can see how just by having the different colours, it just makes it a lot easier to know where you finished off, because if you're anything like me, you'll forget. There you go. And the last one, you can see sometimes the strands become unseparated. This can twist them to get them back into the rope sort of shape. And there we go, the last one. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it further up. I just find it easier this way. You don't need to do it this way, and then bend it underneath the black one, and then you've got an easy path then to push it through. There you have it. At each stage you want to pull it tight, and there you have it. It's as easy as that. So let me just I'll do the other one, and then I'll show you what to do with the ends. Okay, so we've got some large tags left over. You don't want to leave it like this because it would look unsightly really. So you want to cut it off as close to the rope as you can, without it, having the risk of pushing back through. So what I've done is I've taken the electrical tape that was on the end of each one, and I've just moved it up slightly, because you want to wrap the tape around if you're going to cut through the rope, because if you cut just through the rope without the tape, it'll unravel a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut as close as I can to the end. Make sure you've got a sharp knife, and there we go. And what I'll do from there, I have got a blowtorch which I'll use with other bits, but what you want to do before you can take the tape off, you just want to light the end. Obviously this won't work if you've got natural fibre rope. You'll have to actually whip that, but for most people who are going to do this, it's going to be synthetic rope. So yeah, the idea is if you melt the end like this, then when you take the tape off, then it'll all stay in one piece. So from what I'll do this with all the others. I'll remove all the tape and I'll just show you what it looks like. Okay, so there we go, a completed splice. I've melted the ends off so they shouldn't go back through, and it's as easy as that. Easy peasy. Well, I hope you found that useful. If you did, then please click on the like button and feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.